Hello, I'm Chief Constable Kier Pritchard of Wiltshire Police. So last week's announcement by the Prime Minister set out quite clearly the dates of the roadmap out of lockdown. I know that would have provided such a positive boost to so many of us across the country. We've missed our families, we've missed friends, we've missed that social interaction and that social contact. So this would have provided us with an insight into the dates and the months and the weeks to come, where hopefully we'll arrive at that key date of the 21st of June when all restrictions on our social lives could be lifted. And I say could because the government have obviously put some very clear thresholds alongside each stage and each phase of the lockdown. We must ensure, obviously, that the case levels continue to reduce down to avoid the pressure on the NHS and to avoid harm to the communities and, of course, to some of our more vulnerable members of society. So that's where all of us and our social responsibility comes into this. I think as we start to see things like the dates for lockdown being reduced, some, albeit the minority, have seen that as a bit of a green light to start to re-socialise again. So last week alone, here in Wiltshire, we issued 59 fixed penalties. That takes now the level since the beginning of the pandemic to just over 700 fixed penalty notices that we've issued. Many of those last week were regrettably for house parties where people were coming together to celebrate birthdays and to come together in that sort of social setting for barbecues and the like. Of course, completely outside of the regulations, and each interaction such as that does run the risk that the virus will continue to spread and we won't be able to maintain and keep those case levels going down. As I say, each one of those could threaten us moving to the next phase of the easing of the lockdown. So it's absolutely vital that now we demonstrate resilience. We show that we're not going to run the risk that we become complacent and start to push ahead too quickly. All of that can present a risk to the NHS and, of course, to our loved ones in the community. So now is the time to continue to show restraint. We will get there. The country appears to be making great progress. We're doing the same here in Wiltshire and, of course, in the southwest. So on Monday, I think the first milestone will be here, where we'll see schools reopening and our children and children across the county will start to again return to the physical educational setting. That's a really important milestone for families. It's a really critical milestone for young people and so important for their learning, but also for their mental health and well-being. So that's the first threshold. And then we continue to start to see other aspects, such as the end of March, the rule of six for outdoor engagement starts to come back together. So we're very, very close. Now is not the time to threaten that by pushing too quickly, going too early. As I say, it's not a green light to socialise yet, but we're making great progress. So I think, again, working on this together, making sure we demonstrate restraint, we will arrive, hopefully, at a much better summer for all of us, and we can put the very difficult and challenging restrictions back into the history book and confine them to that we can look back on in years to come. So thank you, and look forward to continuing to deliver policing across Wiltshire. Thanks.